Hey guys, welcome to episode 10. It's got something pretty special this episode if you haven't already seen. We're going to do a review on a 1994 Honda CR500 versus a 1989 KX500. So these are big bore two strokes. And we're also going to talk a bit about VMX with Shane Cooper. So let's not hesitate, let's get into this big bore two stroke shootout and let's have fun with it. Cheers. Alright, so this is the day we did a bit of a test ride on Shane Cooper's CR and KX500. So the first one today I'm going to go through is the CR500. It was the first one I rode. It's pretty awesome, I have to say. Riding a 500 is something I've never done before. So the Honda felt actually really cool to ride. It handled really good, better than I thought. It was quite comfortable between the legs and to ride around. Power was obviously really good being a 500. It was comfortable positioning. Suspension was actually really good. So this is a 94 Honda CR500. It's a little bit more modern than the KX that I rode. But otherwise they didn't really change too much over the years. So this hasn't had too much. It's just got a pro circuit exhaust basically done to it, and Shane's obviously done a nice restoration on this one. It looks pretty awesome if I don't say so myself. Could definitely see myself getting one of these, but I'm pretty sure the wife won't let me. So yeah, like I said, it handled quite well, and you'll see from some of the videos, I found this really easy to turn, and it turned quite well. Went well obviously, and goes hard. Probably a little bit similar to my Honda CR500 that I'm currently riding, so yeah, it was really cool. Alright, so bike number 2, guys, is the 89 KX500. This thing was really different to the Honda, more than I actually expected to be different. So the Honda for me was something new. I never ridden one, but then coming off that and getting onto the Kawasaki, really different. I know it's set up for Shane, and he is a bit taller than me, or quite a bit taller than me, but the thing was different. Power-wise, just more power, heaps more power, but really like torquey two-stroke power. It was so much fun to just sort of bro up over everything. It was really cool. Handling-wise though, it felt good between the legs again. I expected it to be harder to handle, but probably the front end was just way soft for me. It just on tight turns mainly. On the mellow rollers and things like that, it was really easy to ride. Anything tight and in the sand, it really wanted to tuck on me, and that's just probably a setup issue from Shane to me, just different riding styles. Either way, you know, it's still a great bike, and I think for this, he's just got the FMF on this one, so power-wise, fantastic. Thing goes like the clappers, and I really noticed that big difference in horsepower, and just the type of power. This was felt more mid-rangey, sort of torquey power, whereas the Honda was more a high revving power. A bit more like a traditional two-stroke 250s rather than the sort of the torquey 500 this is. Otherwise, they were a heap of fun to ride, nowhere near as scary as I thought they were going to be. I was a little bit nervous, a little bit worried about riding the bikes, but in the end, at the end of the day, they were a heap of fun to ride. So, could quite easily happily have one of these, or either of these in my garage, for sure. So, alright guys, so done the review, have ridden the bikes, had a bit of a chat about them. So which one do I think's better? Well, looking at the footage and probably rideability, power-wise, the KX is probably a little bit better. That power band is just so usable, so much fun. The Honda steers better for sure. Definitely had a better chassis, whether that's because it's more modern or whether it's just a setup thing. If I could get that fork on the Kawasaki working, they were both pretty comfortable to ride. So ultimately, if I could put that KX500 motor in that CR frame, I reckon that would be pretty awesome. Otherwise, both great bikes. So yeah, look, I know that there's a lot of people that have different opinions, but from my opinion, and looking at the footage yourselves, I think I look like I rode the KX better. It was easier to ride, looked a little bit quicker. It's hard to tell. I did ride the CR first, and I hadn't ridden two strokes for a long time. So anyway, might be racing the Honda at a vintage meet, and that might give me a bit better of an idea. But at the moment, given those two, I reckon the KX, guys. I reckon the KX. Where are you from?
Righto, my name's Shane. I'm actually 40, I think, in 2 days. Not far from Geelong. What I thought with Andrew's YouTube station was just something a little bit different. We're doing the same discipline, like motocross, but a different type of motocross. So I steered away from the regions and the Vic titles and all that a few years ago to, like everyone that does vintage motocross, to do something they did as they were kids, to ride and race bikes that they raced when they were kids or looked up to when they were kids. And probably the one of the big questions I always get asked is, which bike do you like better, the CR500 or the KX500? So I thought a good answer to that question, I'll get Andrew to ride them, and he can answer that question. So a lot of people don't know about the vintage motocross scene. The Victorian division, I suppose you'd say, it's all MA affiliated, but it's the Viper Vintage Motocross. So they've got a website, Facebook page, and we race all around Victoria, from classes from pre-78, Evo, pre-85, pre-90, pre-95. We also have modern classes. Kids ride for free in a rec class. And the good thing about Vipers is we're racing people that we did used to race back when we grew up as kids, and we're racing bikes that we did used to race back in 95, in 94, you know, 89, and we're racing the bikes that we really thought were grouse when they came out, and you know, came into a shop and here's this brand new 94 KX125, and so it's good to go back and race these bikes. Righto, so There's a website, Viper Vintage Motocross Club. Viper Vintage or Vintage Motocross, it should get you there through Google. There's a join tab in the website. It's a good fun, not discipline because it's motocross, but it's a good fun atmosphere. We all race. We don't race. We're not going to race until the gate drops, and then we race. And then afterwards, we'll hang shit on each other and drink beer and go home. And it's a really good fun thing to do. So the website, it's all through MA affiliated. We race at a lot of different tracks. We do, like, I think this year we've got Monza, Winton, Shepparton, Wonthaggi, Broadford. We've got Broadford this year too. Also, it's national too, so there's a Aussie title. Interstates, we have a VMX state of origin. Then we've got Queensland do a Conondale Classic. Jump on the website and follow your linky things, and you'll work out how to do it. A bit undecided actually. I'd raced the 500 in pre-90 last year, and I raced pre-95 last year. New class last year was pre-95, and this year, 2017, we've brought in a pre-95 125. Pre-95 is a pretty big class, so we've split it up into pre-95 and then a separate 125 pre-95 class, so I'm thinking about doing that one. I've also got a pre-90 250 I wouldn't mind riding, and a pre-85, an 84 CR500 that I'd like to ride as well. I don't know, I like to see the sport grow a bit, so I might wait and see what classes are down and I'll probably enter them. And then it's easier to win them ones too.
What was your first motorbike?
My first motorbike was an XR80 back in 1987. And then we started doing jumps and we broke the frames, we broke the wheels, so Dad bought us YZ80s. And then we wore them out, so Dad goes, well, if you're going to wear them out, then you might as well start racing the things. So that's how we got into racing. That was back in 1989.
What music do you listen to?
Music?
The hell does the kangaroo come from?
Your wife's kangaroo. Just hopped in. I don't do music. I'm 40 tomorrow, aren't I? Mate, I listen to 3AW. So the first time I met Breachy would have been back in about 1993 or 94, I reckon. He lived across the road from us, and we had a track. We had a big track we're on 10 acres in Lara, and we had a big track. And Andrew had this XL185, which he's pretty keen on it. It was pretty good. So we said, come over to our place and have a ride, you know. Well, we didn't know Andrew couldn't ride. So he pushes his bike down the dirt road. And he comes, he jumps on his XL185 and he rode it straight through the electric fence and straight into the horse fence. And I haven't seen Andrew for 25 years, and he turns up at the motocross a couple of years ago. Oh, you remember me? I rode through your fence.
I haven't got it, he's got it.
Alright guys, now that all the controversy of which bike was better is done and dusted and this episode is finished, just to quickly finish off, I'd like to say thanks to Shane Cooper for letting me come out to his property at Cooperland and ride my bike, and definitely for riding two 500cc two-strokes, something I probably never thought I would actually ever ride. Always looked at them as kids, but they were pretty cool. So thanks for that, Shane, and thanks to his family for having me out there at their property. Pretty much apart from that, guys, next episode is going to have a little bit of the Davis Johnson fundraiser that we had out at the Lewis compound out there. So I've got a bit of footage from that, a few pics from ELJ Visual, and I'll have an interview with Davis at some stage himself. Also, looking at racing a vintage race and getting more footage of a Vipers round. discussing it with Shane, we don't really know which bike I'm going to ride. I can't decide. So I've got a choice between a 125, a 250 and a 500cc two-stroke. So if you guys have any ideas or which one you'd like to see me race at a Vipers round, by all means post below, send me a message on Breachy623 Facebook page or whatever, doesn't matter. If anyone has any preference of what they'd like to see me ride around or attempt to race around the track, let me know, guys. If not, we'll make the decision, but either or either. Enjoy this. I hope you enjoyed this episode, something different, and we'll see you for episode 11. So awesome. Thanks, guys. Catch ya.